Hi, this is James Price with the WBFF World Championships here in Toronto, Ontario. On my left, I have
Nandor, the nutrition editor for Fit and Firm magazine.
Nice. And Nandor, what does that mean? What do you do for the magazine? What do you write? What is your story?
Well, unfortunately, Dave has given me, or not Dave, I guess Paul's given me autonomy, so I can sort of pick and choose whatever I want to write about. And I write about the things that I think are most important based on the 14 years of clinical experience that I've had that people come to me with problem-wise. So I've written on the digestive tract, I've written on balancing female hormones, mind, body, spirit connection, so in other words, thoughts, feelings, how they hugely affect your physiology. Next one I'm actually writing on is the adrenal gland. So people often have lower back pain. They do so because they have weak adrenals. They have anxiety issues and feel tired all the time or often. These are all adrenal type stuff. So that's what I'm writing on next. Really interesting stuff.
And so with those back pains and things like that, what are some of the things that a competitor or maybe even just a normal person can do to tip the scale back, as like you said, tip the scale back into their favor?
Well, here's the thing, right? The number one thing I always tell everybody to do is because we are a collection of 50 to 100 trillion cells, different size, shape, and function. The number one thing we need to understand is the new biology is telling us that the brains of the cell is not the nucleus. In other words, it's not the DNA. The DNA really is just the gonads of the cell, and they do what they are told. In other words, the reproductive system. So the brain itself is a cell membrane, and the cell membrane is a bilipid layer made up of fat, basically fat, protein, and so on and so forth, but predominantly fat. So we want to make sure that the right type of fat makes up every cell in the body, and that should predominantly come not from flaxseed oil, not from omega-3, because omega-3 converts through 5 biochemical steps to EPA and then 2 more to DHA. And these are enzyme-dependent, pH-dependent, it's very difficult to do. So statistically, the research shows that only about 4% of flaxseed oil or omega-3s convert to EPA, DHA. So what we want to do is we want to go straight to the source, and we want to take fish oil, some type of marine lipid combination of things.
Okay, so I mean, obviously the omega-3s and things like that is still good for you, but you're saying go directly to the source, fish oils, cod liver oils, things like that is what you're talking about, yes?
Yes, well, cod liver oil you got to be careful with a little bit in the summertime because the vitamin D and you're out in the sun and you get a little bit of excess vitamin D that way. So cod liver oil is more winter, because if you go to any health food store, in my office, fish oil or any kind of marine lipid combination of stuff, anything that breaks into EPA, DHA, and of course, what you really want to make sure it's a quality source, right? Because the thing with fish is they're very heavy in mercury, PCBs, and dioxins. So I'm not a big recommender of fish consumption. That'd be one reason, but I'm a big recommender of EPA, DHA, and really you should supplement that in supplement form. So if you can do that as the number one supplement that you concentrate on all the time, your health will benefit huge. But I will say this, caveat emptor, right? Buyer beware, so to speak. If you have, if you're constantly repeating fish oil, put it in the freezer. What that's really telling you is you have low stomach acid. Most of these will tell you have too much acid, they'll give you antacids. Not the right way to go, in my opinion anyways, my very humble opinion. What you want to understand is you've got too little stomach acid. So you got to do two things here. One, put your fish oil in the freezer so it freezes and thaws further down the GI. And two, take apple cider vinegar to increase your body's production of stomach acid so that you can effectively digest and move through the whole digestive process and absorb and all these wonderful things. Because when you have low stomach acid, your minerals, everything, is going to be low. And these are going to contribute to, for example, hypertension. High blood pressure is caused by low magnesium, and if you're not absorbing, very easy to deplete magnesium because stress depletes magnesium. Who's not stressed? Everybody's stressed. So to bring the magnesium back in is one thing, but we also need to absorb it, and we do that through stomach acid, proper stomach acid production.
Awesome. So what it sounds like to me is you use a lot of natural remedies to achieve the same goal that a pill might do. For instance, I mean, myself, I do take apple cider vinegar for those same reasons. So would that be a good assumption, is that you are more into the natural remedies for your body to keep it healthy, to keep it clean, and to keep the toxins out?
Well, here's the thing, very difficult to keep the toxins out. The toxins are going to do what they're going to do. And, we live in a toxic environment. So what we want to do is we want to put the nutrients in to support liver detoxification, phase 1, phase 2, which are enzyme driven, and enzymes are like flashlights, and the flashlights need batteries in the body, and the batteries are cofactors. So really it's with the nutrients that drive these enzyme functions. So nutrients are very, very important, but what we must understand is, for example, hypertension. To use that example earlier.
Right.
As a person who have hypertension, do they have a deficiency in an antihypertensive? you can argue and go both ways on that one, but probably not, right? So what we want to do is we want to try to add the nutrients that are required to bring that blood pressure down, and we want to make sure we have proper stomach acid and so forth for absorption purposes. And then let's see what happens, right? When we bring the nutrients in, and only after that do we want to turn to meds if the nutrients don't do it. But the nutrients have to be quality, and of course they need to be absorbed. So if they're not quality and they're not being absorbed, then we've got a bit of a problem. And it's not the meds that are the problem, or the lack thereof. It's the digestion and the quality of the nutrients that you're bringing in.
Okay, so now I'm a writer for Fit and Firm magazine as well. I'm going to take you into my world now that I've stepped into your world.
Sure.
I write a fashion column. So let me ask you this: are you a fashion guy? Do you rock a lot of cool outfits? Do you have a designer that you like?
Yeah, actually, SDNR, Sex, Drugs, and Rock and Roll. They do a lot of my clothes for me, and I actually toned it down this year. Last year I sold SDNR right out.
You look great. You look amazing.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you. I'm just not wearing their clothes today, but yeah, I mean SDNR would be what I would give the answer there. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, again, my name is James Price with the WBF here in Ontario, Canada. Excuse me. The World Championships. We need to cut that.